So you got Earls Hill and Pontesford Hill, they're actually joined together.
And we'll be going to both of those today on Third Rate Content. Keep watching.
Wow, it's quite a rustic old barn there.
Yeah, I think it's just the rustic that's holding it up.
Lol. I ain't got time to bleed.
Welcome back to Third Rate Content. Today we're going to visit 2 more hill forts of Shropshire, because there are 60 in the Shropshire locality. We've already visited 2 of them, and attempted to visit another one, but we're going to do another 2 today, so we're slowly checking them off. And today's hill fort is at Earls Hill / Pontesford Hill, about 7 miles south of Shrewsbury. So buckle up and I'll see you out here.
So today we're starting our walk just here, and I think we're going to go all the way around here and make our way up onto the top of Earls Hill / Pontesford Hill and learn some of its history, mythology, and also have a look at the really, hopefully, fantastic views. It's not an amazing day today, but it looks like there could be some views, fingers crossed.
And of course, you know, I'm not a big fan of the fingers crossed. I don't like luck, but today, I don't like leaving things to luck, but today there is an element of luck in the Third Rate Content walk.
Ah! No, they don't want to talk today.
Yeah, came out with my hat on today, but as it's middle of February now, it's Thursday, the 16th of February to be precise. Yeah, I came out with the woolly hat on. I've got it in my bag. 3 layers, expecting the worst, and it's actually quite mild today. I got quite hot driving here. Took the hat off, undid the layers. I feel a fair bit better, but it's better to be prepared when you come out on these country excursions. As I've said before, I'm not actually a countryman at all, but I'm kind of learning the ways as we go.
Yeah, looking north towards Shrewsbury here, you can actually see the Veolia recycling centre with its chimney, and then what I presume is Grins Hill in the background in North Shropshire. We've got a great view from here today, and we're not even at the top. Of course, we're not in a churchyard today. We're about to ascend an ancient Iron Age hill fort, but you can see a yew tree, not just 1, 2, and 3. So you've got a cluster of yew trees just coming up to the ancient hill fort. Gnarled and ancient.
Bit of a third-rate recollection for you here. I have been to Pontesford Hill one other time in about 2010. I came with a former housemate of mine. To be honest, I'd forgot his name, and one of his friends. They're both from Pontesford, and on the way up we had a walk up the hill. Like I say, the first time I'd ever done it, and it was snowing, so we were walking through like a winter wonderland. And the one lad for a joke, hid behind a tree with a stick and jumped out on his mate. I forgot his name too. And like as a joke, went to jokingly hit him, but actually whacked him on the head with the stick. So there was blood, and the guy was nearly knocked senseless. So there was his blood all over the snow. And to be honest, it was really awkward. But I was just glad it was nothing to do with me. Yeah, and if you remember, back in 2010, that winter, it was snowing really bad. And when we came off the hill, we'd caught the bus to Pontesbury. We actually got the last bus out of Pontesbury before they were all cancelled because of the snow. So it was like a lucky escape. But not for the poor guy who got hit on the head with a stick though. You've got this scree, lower scree, and then you've got the kind of granite cliff top. As you can see, we're about halfway up. It goes down quite a way there. Yeah, I'm not sure if that is quartz or just granite. I know that Pontesbury Hill was made from lava, so it could be quartz, but if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. But it's almost like a bit like the Stiper Stones, which is just further up the road really from here. And quartz is supposed to have mystical qualities, mountain energy and all that. As you can see, it gets a little bit sketchy as regards to the footpath here. But you know, third-rate footing. But I don't want to fall down that side, thanks. I wonder how long this path has been here though. Do you think our Iron Age ancestors used it? You decide, because I don't know. Yeah, so the path we're on is circling of Pontesbury Hill, Earls Hill. And then I think we take a right off here and then go up to the hill forts. Because there's two of them, 2 for 1 today. Yeah, I'm still rocking the inappropriate footwear today. I haven't got round to getting any specific walking shoes. But then again, Adam the Woo never wears walking boots. He's always worn his sneakers. And he's done some quite out back walks. So, you know. Wonder where that goes. Should we have a look? Yes, let's do it. Because I can hear running water down here. Yeah, the things we do for third-rate content, we've got to go all the way down this really steep staircase to see what's down here. Though I do love a good third-rate content micro adventure, and we're certainly on one today. Yeah, that's the water I could hear. Nice to see the snowdrops out. Did you know that they've got, on their spines, they've got a chemical
that is like an antifreeze, and that allows them to thrive when other little plants don't, and they get all the attention then and all the resources because they're so early. Yeah, getting back onto the path from our micro adventure down by the stream. Quite a climb back up.
I'm definitely not cold now.
I believe Mitchell's Fold Stone Circle is just to the right of that hill.
Yeah, someone's made a kind of palisade. I don't know if it's to stop sheep or what. It's just a reproduction of how traditional farm techniques were used and made. Now, a lady told me you turn right after the second gate. So let's see how that works out. Yeah, there does seem to be a path here. I don't know if the sheep made it or this is the way to the summit. We're going to try it anyway. And it's not going to tire out you, the viewer. You just have to watch, which is nice. Have a nice cup of tea or something. Yeah, I do love a good cup of tea or coffee. I like them both the same. But I do love a good refreshing cup of tea. So why don't you have one and I'll live vicariously through you. Of course, pause, then make a cup of tea. One for you, one for me. And then come back and unpause. Yeah, I might be puffing and panting a bit. I'm just shaking off the winter unfitness, if that's the right word. Yeah, because believe it or not, 2 or 3 years ago I was really fit. And we're going to find out just how fit I am now, making our way up there. It maybe doesn't look as steep as it is, but it's pretty steep. Yeah, we got to go up there, all the way up there. But on third rate content, we surmount all obstacles. Just have to take my word for that. I'll see you at the summit. Yeah, we're making our way along sheep paths by the look of it. And now, the final section. We're not going to run up there, don't worry. Only because I got a new camera. Yeah, we're getting there now. Honestly, hope you're enjoying your cup of tea. But hopefully we get to the top and we'll talk about the 2 hill forks up here, some of the history, and also about some of the mythology of Pontesford Hill stroke Earls. So again, I'll say it again, I'll see you at the top. I mean it this time. Looks kind of megalithic. wind at the top was outrageous and atrocious, so I voiced it over because it was whipping round. But we're up here at the Triggy, the first Triggy ever on third rate content, I believe. Well, it was so long ago, I can't remember the last one, possibly the Wrekin, but we're crediting this as the first. Yes, we're getting a full 360 degree view of Shropshire from up here at the summit. From the Wrekin to Grint Hill, right down to further down the South Shropshire Hills, which we're just going into here at Pontesford Hill. But it's basically...
Yeah, so the last time I came up here, which was the first time, 13 years ago, it was completely covered in snow as far as the eye could see. And although I knew I was at Pontesford Hill, I didn't really know what I was looking at in the countryside because it was all snow covered and it looked like something from Lord of the Rings or something. But now I do know where I am, and I know Shropshire a lot better than I did back then. So it's all good, really, isn't it?
Yeah, this very moody shot, just looking up into the old Iron Age hill fort. Of course, there's hardly anything left of it now. The historical fragments found relate to the Iron Age, but like most of these places, I'm sure it would have been occupied quite a bit before as well. And getting a good view of the aspect of the approach of the hill fort up here. The Hogback Wrekin, we did do a video on that quite some time ago, and it probably needs doing again. The Callow, another hill fort like the Wrekin, smaller one. We've done a video on it, we should do another one though. Interestingly, you can see the Callow from the very top of Whitchurch Road in Shrewsbury. It's almost like a direct straight line. Think the old straight track, Alfred Watkins.
There are lots of myths and legends attached to Pontesford Hill, Earls Hill, whatever you want to call it, or call them. One of the very interesting ones is the tradition of the Golden Arrow. Of course, Mary Webb, her first novel was called The Golden Arrow, and it was named after the tradition that went on here at Pontesbury Hill.
For centuries, the villagers of Pontesbury, and we will do a video on Pontesbury in future, but we're just doing Pontesbury Hill today, but the villagers of Pontesbury on Palm Sunday at Easter would gather at the top of the hill and have a picnic and a kind of Easter event. And this went on for hundreds of years. And what they did, they had the Easter celebration, the rebirth celebration,
which amounted to picnic and games, and afterwards
went searching for the Golden Arrow, the mythical Golden Arrow that was lost by a Saxon prince, a long time ago in the Dark Ages.
Yeah, the event was actually called the Pontesford Wake. Pontesford being the very small village that conurbates with Pontesbury, like that word. But after the games and the picnic, the young people would look for the Golden Arrow, the mythical Golden Arrow, as we said. This tradition has been partially restored, I believe in the last year or two. Golden arrows have been made and hidden all around the hill, and children look for them, kind of like an Easter egg hunt.
And after the search for the Golden Arrow, the young people who were attending the Pontesford Wake would race down the hill, and there is a waterfall somewhere at the base of Pontesbury Hill. I did look for it today. That's what I was doing by walking down the hill, but we'll have to come back and find that. And they'd race down, and the first ones to get their feet wet would be the first to marry in the village.
But the actual tradition, the Pontesford Wake, started to lose popularity in the late 1900s and died out in the 1950s because the well-respected folk of the village didn't really want anything to do with it, no part of it. And it was only the wilder element of Pontesbury Village and Pontesford who were still attending into the 1950s. And I think a lot of that is because the Pontesford Wake was an unbroken tradition that went all the way back to pre-Christian times, and it was actually a fertility rite, sort of dressed up a bit as a kind of Easter celebration, like a lot of these things are. You know, we're always talking about churches on pagan sites, and Christmas being truly the midwinter festival, a pagan festival. So Easter's no different, and I think the well-respected Christian folk of the late 19th century, early 20th century didn't want to be a part of it. But it did carry on all the way up to the 1950s, which I think's amazing, to be honest. That there could still be people alive today, they'd be quite old, but they could still be alive down in Pontesbury, who attended an unbroken tradition that went right back to probably when the Saxon king lost the golden arrow or before. I think it's quite amazing. Yes, a pre-Christian fertility rite to welcome in the new season. Who would have thought it at Pontesbury Hill? Ancient paganism. Well, I would have. That's why we're talking about it. History, third-rate content.
History and mystery all in one place.
Yeah, 2 hill forts in one day does make up for the partial fail on the Rattling Hope video the other week. But I'm still counting that, you know, because we went looking for it.
Call me generous, but we had the intent.
So this is where the wattle and daub houses would have been in the Iron Age. And these would have been the walls of the hill fort, and the entrance just round there, the gateway. Yeah, so that would have been the sort of doorway, gateway into the hill fort. It's been filled in quite a bit now. You can still get the idea.
So thank you for watching to the end of today's third-rate content. It's been a really fun trek right round Pontesford, Pontesbury and Earls Hill, whatever you want to call them, and 2 hill forts in one day. So I'm really pleased with that. We saw some fantastic views up there, and we're finishing off today's micro adventure at the lower hill fort. So like I said, thanks for watching to the end. I hope you enjoyed, but as I've been getting used to lately, you probably did enjoy it somewhat if you're still watching now. So thank you, and if I don't see you soon, I'll see you 3 times as soon. Bye bye.